Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm back. TT from Intuitive Minds Already Know, and here we are again on Wednesday for another wonderful Facebook Live. I have a topic tonight. I have notes and I have an itinerary, so I really want to stay on point, but you know how it goes. Shiny squirrels. First of all, I want to thank everybody. I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I just want to thank everybody that has been popping on here to watch what I say, the advice that I give. So I just want to give a shout out to like everybody that, even if you just like catch a little bit of it, that's what I do. I plant the seeds. So if you take just a little bit of insight or advice and apply it, or even just like listen to it as there's that, okay, we might have an orb. Hello, let's be cool, spirit. Even if you like just hear something as a subliminal. I have been listening to a really cool app called Sound and Soulful, and it is a subliminal app, and I let it run continuous all night long. The lady that designed it has like several different areas and several different sounds, and you can put them on loop, and I just let it run all night long. I choose a topic that I'm needing more work, needing more attention with what I'm going on in my life. So there's that. All right, so tonight's topic is insecurities and lack mindset. We're probably going to jump all over the place because that's where it goes. But I cleanse the area, and let's go ahead. And while we just wait for some other people to get on here, we're gonna connect with our energy. So what I want you to do is I just want you to kind of breathe with me. Take 3 deep breaths. Hold it, and then let it out. And we're going to do 2 more of them. Hold it. And as you're breathing in, doing these as I'm talking, keep doing it. Try to just let the day go. For a half hour, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, if you stay tuned for the whole thing, just allow yourself to be present in the moment. All right, 1 more deep breath in. Hold it. And just let all that shit go. You should feel a drop in your shoulders. Usually I feel it in just a drop in my shoulders. All right, we're going to find our energy. We're going to connect with our energy, get centered. We're going to do the cards. We're going to talk. I have some definitions. And then at the end, we're going to do a mini cord cutting where it's a guided meditation. And you're going to pick something that you want to remove from your life, from your energy, something that you need to let go. We're going to do that tonight. A simple one, a really quick one. All right. So let's rub them hands together. I think it's just a piece of dust. Spirit, you have to behave if you're here. All right. Get some friction going. All right. Hop on here. Hello. If you're just joining, please comment so I know who's here. All right. So imagine like this ball of energy, ball of white light, and play with it a little bit. You feel that? You feel that pull back and forth? Do you feel it? Comment on here, folks. I need some interaction tonight. That is your energy. That is all you. And I like to do this if I'm anxious, or if I really want to get centered before I pull cards for myself, or before a meditation, or if I just need some centering during the day. Look at that. I can feel it. Can you feel it? Like, I feel mine on the bottom of my palms and in my fingertips. And your energy might be out. It might be bigger. So like, just play with it. Whew. I can feel that. Hello, John Back. Do you feel your energy? Find your energy. Oh, I can feel it. It feels very bouncy, springy. All right. And just allow to sit with that for a little bit. And as I continue to do the live, you can continue to play with your energy in a good way. Very discreet way. All right. Tonight's topic is all about insecurities and a lack mindset. The first thing I want to say is we are in a new lunar year as of right now. And the energy is to trust your own inner intuition. Dream big and let your desires and your creations come out. Pair that with a plan, set an intention, and meditate and or journal. Some of the things that just came to me as I was at work today, I just kind of like wrote them down. So there's a lot of energies lately coming forward. We are going to be, I'm going to say trigger. If you have a different word, stimulate, activate. What a trigger is, it's basically the body's way of remembering something connected to your past. It could be an immediate past, like childhood past. I'll give an example. I have like a disappointment trigger. So, and I'll talk about that going into the lack mindset. But I have a like disappointment trigger. So, and it's because I have learned that I have set really high expectations for things to happen in my life. Well, when you set the bar so high, you are always going to be disappointed. So you kind of have to like lower your standards a little bit, you know? And if you always have expectations, you're setting yourself up for disappointment all the time. So if you never have an expectation and you just live in that moment, you are rarely disappointed. And if you are disappointed, you are able to kind of just like shake it off, brush it off, and make, well, it is what it is, and then move forward. I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I hate that saying, but it is. It is just what it is. It's in the moment. My New Year's resolution this year is to practice being more in the moment. I have realized through my lack mindset and my insecurities that I struggle with being in the moment because I'm always thinking that I'm going to be disappointed. So I'm always analyzing the past. And the past, I'm using all those memories to keep me guarded and sheltered from not enjoying the moment. And I'm just waiting for that next shoe to drop. And when I realized that, like recently I had this like realization from a trigger, I realized that that's like such a lack mindset to be in. Like I'm missing out on being in the moment because I'm waiting for some grand thing to happen. And I'm not really sure where that mindset came from, where I have to have such grand ideas. It could have been from, I could have learned it, excuse me. I could have learned it from family or movies or, like a conditioning. I didn't meditate on it. I'm not exactly sure where that came from, but I have recently realized, like, my God, if I continue this mindset, I'm going to miss out on all the little things in life that happen that I can make grand. I can feel the way I feel in the moment, and that's going to make the grand. It's not expecting it to be grand. It's like really allowing whatever it is to be grand in that moment. Does that make sense? All right. So the definition of insecurity, I looked it up, and it's a lack of confidence. You feel unsafe, uncertain, and anxious. And I thought it was really interesting that they put the word anxious in the definition, because when you are insecure, for me anyways, I get like an anxiety or a panic attack, if it's, depending on what's going on. There's relationship insecurity, there's social insecurity, there's body image insecurity, there's job insecurity, and basic need insecurity. So relationship insecurity is when we are unable to be vulnerable and have trust for others. We're always on guard. We're like me. I'm always not living in the moment. I mean, I realize that in my relationship that I have a hard time trusting my partner, and I don't really have any concrete evidence to believe in my 23 years of marriage that I shouldn't be trusting. It's just something, it's mindset, and I'm working on that, but it's unwilling to become vulnerable and trust others. The social insecurity is lack of confidence in one's own ability to succeed in a social setting. Like, we're so worried about what everybody's going to think of us. And that has to do with, the lack of confidence. Body image, can't accurately perceive one's physical appearance. And that's really hard to do when you look in the mirror and you see something that your reflection is so like distorted from what it is in reality, but the reality is what we perceive. So like when you see something in somebody, like I go to an art museum, for instance, and somebody will say, well, that picture is ugly. Well, the next person might find something in there that's like really beautiful. So reality is the perception of the beholder. Job insecurity, having overwhelming doubt that you're not good enough, confusion and uncertainty about one's job. And basic need and insecurity, overwhelming uncertainty about food, housing, and health. And that's just worrying too much about what you can't control, all right? So I found that on the interweb. I thought that was really interesting. So I wrote down some things. Breaking free from insecurities and lack mindset. The current energy is super strong. Ask anybody. We just had like 6 or 7 planets that were in alignment. That's going to fuck shit up. So ask yourself, if you're sitting here now, ask yourself, how is this collective lunar energy in the world, in the universe, bringing up insecurities and old wounds for healing? This is interesting. I've been in my healing journey, or whatever you want to call it, for probably 3-4 years now. And it was interesting that this last, with the new year and the lunar and this last energy, because it's a new moon right now, and the energy was peaked. It brought something out to me. It revealed something to me in a very uncomfortable way that I thought that I had kind of had a grasp on, and I thought that I had already dealt with it. Well, that's the wonderful thing about shadow work, is that it's always evolving. It's always uncovering one layer at a time. And my husband and I were talking about this, and he's like, honey, if this is really deep rooted, like childhood insecurities and a deep childhood wound, like you could be carrying it. Not only can you be carrying it from your birth, but this is fascinating. Like you could be carrying it from like your mom's birth and from your dad's birth and their lives and their past lives. So you could be carrying it karmically, and it was like, oh, like, I don't need that shit. So that's why we're going to cut. That's why we're going to do a little mini cut cord. And just to remind you that you are not alone. As a collective, you don't have to, even though you might not meet somebody that is going through what you're going through, remember there's like 1 trillion people on, like, in the United States, just in, I don't know how many people are in the world, but there's a lot. There's a lot. It's unmeasurable. There's got to be at least one other person that is going through a similar situation, that is feeling like you are, and is having the same emotions as you are, so you are not alone. Recognizing insecurity and lack mindset. Insecurity often comes from past wounds and conditioning. We talked about that. And that's where that's where shadow work comes in, and you can work with a counselor on it. You can work with like a Reiki practitioner. You can pull cards or do, practice. If you are Reiki certified, you can do it on yourself or meditate. There are lots of different modalities to get to that root cause of why this particular thing or many things is triggering you, activating you, and making you feel insecure. A lack mindset, which means we lack mindset, is the opposite of gratitude and abundance. When you're in a lack mindset, you can't really appreciate what you actually have. And you're always like, not always, but they're like, think about somebody who it's like negative Nelly, and they're complaining. That person is insecure and they cannot see what's in front of them. They've always got to be judgmental, and it's a horrible place to be. It's not healthy. Lack mindset keeps us focused on what we don't have instead of what's possible. And that's where I realized that most of been living my life in a lack mindset, when I really should be focused on what I actually have and really enjoy the things I have. And if I want change, I'm going to have to do it myself. I can't rely on others around me to make me feel a certain way. That's codependent. That's not fair. That's not healthy. How to identify when you're operating from insecurity or scarcity, self-doubt, fear or failure, avoidance, comparison. Well, we get triggered. If you can recognize when you get triggered, it's usually from a place of lack or fear. And hello, Justin. And it's usually, not all the time, but it's usually something that we have been believing for most of our lives, or from that situation that has allowed us to believe in that condition. And it's mindset. Mindset. The mind is powerful. If we don't want to feel a certain, this is, when I heard this, I was like, fuck you, this is not true. My body should be able to feel what I want. Yes, I can feel it, but with proper practice and perspective, you can change your mindset and think about something differently so that it changes the way you feel in the moment. You might, if something has happened in your life, and whenever the word comes up or the memory comes up or the person that you're exposed to makes you feel angry, and now that you're triggered and now you have an outburst, it's not that person's fault or that situation's fault. It's how you perceived what's going on in that moment. It's how the body's remembering. The body's remembering something. So we have to realize that it's just perspective. Look at it a different way and look at why. When I had my realization lately, I'm like, oh, this is from a childhood conditioning. And it's not my husband's fault or my dog's fault or my coworker's fault that they pissed me off, you know, said something that activated that memory. So I had to go back and go, okay, like, this is dumb. Like, why am I carrying this forward into my life? And who knows, I probably allowed it to carry into like my son's life, because that's karmic conditioning. So when you can just pause in that moment, and this takes practice. This takes practice when you're getting triggered and you're going through the insecurities and you're in the lack and you're in the fear. It's just a matter of breathing, pausing, and realizing I'm safe. I'm safe. I have everything I need right now. Center, get your breathing, and it works, because for the time, and take 3 deep breaths. And for the time that it takes for you to actually get that 3rd breath in, it's weird. Like the body just kind of naturally relaxes. Practice. It takes practice. Releasing old patterns. A lot of when we get triggered and our insecurities are fueled because we have been behaving this way all the time. And basically I had noticed that my lack mindset it was the first thing that I always went to. And there's been a particular thought that I've been going to bed with, this thought. And then I wake up in the middle of the night with this thought. And then I wake up in the morning with this thought. And I'm like, how can I shift my mindset that this thought doesn't have to control my mood? And it was just a matter of like saying, okay, like, I am not going to think about this. And if it does come up, I'm going to go, thank you. I don't need to think about this right now. And I don't want to feel the way that this thought is making me feel, because it's just a trigger. But I did realize that the reason it was coming up more and more and more, because there was healing, and there was healing of an unhealed wound that needed to be. And that's why it kept coming up. I didn't purposely think this thought. It was more like an intrusive thought. Something to think about. Awareness is the first step. Acknowledging the limiting beliefs. You could journal about it. Where do I feel the most lack in my life? And what past experience shaped this belief? Reframing your thoughts. Instead of saying, I never have enough, reframe that to, I am open to abundance in all forms. Steps to shift into an abundance mindset. Practice gratitude. I wrote down something because this is a very controversial subject with me. They use it in the Alcoholic Anonymous 12-step program, and I don't want to shame it, but I just have my own opinion on gratitude. So, because it's not just gratitude that's going to change the way you feel about something, but gratitude, for me, it's going to like kind of take the edge off. All right. It's going to help you change your perspective on why you feel a certain way. Does that make sense? That make more sense? So I wrote this down when I was channeling today. Gratitude does not change the mindset and or the behavior of others, but it does have the potential to change your own. So it was interesting, because then as I was thinking about a lack mindset part in my life, something that I'm lacking, and it was like, okay, so what would your advice be? And it was, spend some substantial time away from your partner. Engage how you feel when you're away, and then pay attention to how you feel when you reunite. You know, do you miss them? Do you find the energy is different? Do you find your energy is different? Are you anxious? When does that anxiousness subside? Is it within hours? Is it within days? And ask yourself those hard questions without judgment. That was just an example of like a kind of a like a relationship exercise to do when you're thinking about gratitude and lack. So I'm trying to appreciate my husband more. I think we're gonna pull some cards. Yes, pull some cards. All right. And then I have 10 things that I found off the internet, and I'm just going to read through them kind of fast. If you're on here and you want more information on that, let me know, because I can send you the information that I used. If you're watching this, your name will go into a drawing at the end of January for a free reading. So if you comment in the comments, free reading, your name will go in at the end of January for a free reading. All right. Okay. So I'm sorry for that. I'm getting over the nasty crud that's been going around. All right. I am going to pull from the Energy Oracle card deck. So Spirit, I'm going to shuffle these cards, and I'm going to allow myself to be a cleansed conduit. And what I mean by cleansed conduit is I'm going to just set all my shit aside, because I don't want it to cloud the channeling that comes from the cards. So I'm going to leave all my bullshit at the door. Hello, Kelly. Please stay watching. I'm going to pull cards. I'm going to leave all my bullshit at the door so that I don't taint any of this energy. So I cleansed my space earlier, and I commanded to be a cleansed conduit. Just something I learned along the way. All right. So, all right, Spirit, reveal any information from these cards regarding the subject, insecurities and lack mindset. Angel of Balance. Number 48. Wow, it's really interesting. Like, my head just like started to, I don't know, I can feel a lot of energy in my head right now. What is the Angel of Balance? So she's hanging on, and I'll read from the book. She's hanging on to what appears to be, kind of looks like an hourglass, but it's not in the traditional shape that we normally see as an hourglass. But do you notice how, like, it's neither half full or half empty, or it is half full or half empty? And what they're telling me right now, it's like, that's all about perspective. What do you see? Do you see that it's half full or that it's half empty? I see both. To me, I'm just looking at it going, there's water in there and there's space for more. That's what I see. I see that it's not completely taking up the space of the vessel. Whether that's half full or half empty, it's just that there's like room for more in that container, in that vessel. Which, okay, so like if you look at it, there's always, this is funny because I say this a lot at work. There's always room for improvement. We all have potential. So finding your balance. So lack mindset is just being able, when a lack mindset is not being able to see that you have the potential. Hello, Amanda. And it just takes practice and, practicing gratitude and then shifting that mindset. Remember, practicing and shifting the mindset to being in the moment. What do I have right now? What can I be appreciative for what's going on in this moment right now? Planned or not planned? All right, I'm going to read from the book. I like that. Here's the card again. Being centered and self-honoring in your choices. This loving presence hold a pitcher of liquid light in front of the pyramids, reminding you that a strong destiny relies on a solid foundation of personal balance and emotional equanimity. Although things may have been out of sync in the past, the card is telling you that a greater equilibrium is now coming to your life. Remain conscious of how you are balancing your goals and your physical, emotional energy as well. Whenever you feel yourself getting off center or losing focus, call upon this beautiful angel and bring her intention into your heart center. Your intuition will lead you in the right direction, and the angel will guide you to a peaceful and centered approach. I like that. So how to implement that advice in your life is try to bring center. And we did the centering with the energy and the breathing. So anytime you're feeling insecure, you're feeling anxious, you're in that mindset of lack, find your center. Get centered with your body, because that's how we are rooted to the universe. Up here to the universe, to the divine, down here to the physical. So if you are in the middle, you're safe. You're safe. You're not, you're not too far out here, and you're not too far in yourself. Like kind of like ego. You're not in your ego. You're just right where you need to be, is right around that heart space. Center your heart space. Ooh, I like that. Any questions? Comment on here. Free reading if you want your name to go into a drawing for a free reading. We're going to do another card. And I promise you we will get to the cord cutting. And I do want to discuss the 10 ways to get out of a lack mindset. Who's on here? I see 3 eyes, but I don't know who's on here. All right, Spirit. Use me as a clear conduit to channel any messages regarding the topic of breaking free from insecurities and a lack mindset. This oracle card deck is from the Messenger. Know your power. That is in here. That one is under embrace yourself as you are. No one is good at everything. Everyone has strengths and weaknesses, and that doesn't make them any less worthy of love and respect. Write affirmations highlighting your talents, like I'm an excellent writer, or I'm a really kind person, and acknowledge areas of opportunity, like needing to polish your public speaking skills. Remind yourself, too, that you don't need to always excel. If math doesn't come naturally and you don't feel a passion to learn it, there's no need to put pressure on yourself to develop the skill. Own your shit. So know your power. 21 is the number. Know your power. So I like this card because I just think of like horsepower. And horses are very intuitive and a very strong animal. Oh, okay. So there's power in your intuition. So when you're feeling insecure and when you're in that lack mindset, go to your heart space and go to your intuition. Your own intuition is a powerful tool, and using the like cards or any other divine modality like scrying or runes or Reiki. There's lots, I could go on and on. But your intuition is your superpower. Your gut will tell you. Your gut instinct will always tell you which is best for you. You have to practice. You have to believe that you have it, and we all do. We're born with it. It's innate. You just have to practice and trust and learn how to trust it. Know your power. You have a choice in all things. Your power is born of that freedom to choose. But with that freedom comes the burden of responsibility. To know your power, you must accept responsibility for your part in all you experience, even when you allow another to impose their choice or will upon you. You have the power to choose if you wear a saddle or bridle, or if another will ride upon your back. Own your power, know it, and see it in all of your choices and actions. So that's like that mindset. Like, really ask yourself, where is this mindset coming from? Where is this belief coming from? Is it my belief? Is it from conditioning? You know, how do I really feel about this? And try to be open-minded. And that's where you can change your perspective if this mindset is not making you feel good. If it's not positive, if it's not bringing value to your life, this mindset. I like that. I like that. We're going to pull one more card, and then we're going to do the cord cutting. I'm going to go through, I think I'm going to do I'm going to do this first. All right. I'm going to jump into these, and then I'll do a closing card, okay? All right, so how to break free from insecurities and lack of mindset. So I found this, and I wrote down some of my own opinions. So confront your feelings. Instead of holding on to negative feelings about yourself or letting an experience like criticism damage your confidence, unpack what's going through your head. An excellent place to do this is in therapy. So if you continue this lack mindset and allowing these insecurities, insecurities is basically like false beliefs of yourself. Like it is your reality, but there's a better way of looking at yourself. Because that's what reality is. It's your perspective. It's the way that you see things from your conditioning. But you can change that. You can change that mindset. And if you don't, and those mindsets and those insecurities keep making you feel not healthy, and it's not helpful in your life, then it has the potential to create a disease in your body. It's called dis-ease. When you don't deal with your shit and you keep masking it, or you keep burying it because you don't want to deal with it, because dealing with it brings up triggers and brings up memories of how you used to feel. Well, sometimes we have to feel it, deal with it, heal it, deal with it, bring it up, feel it to heal it. Set achievable goals. And I wrote down start small. A win is still a win. But when I had my husband do this, and I did it as well. Because, you know, we were getting, from experience, when you do your shadow work, there's times in your journey where, in your basic life, where you get just low. And so what I advise, and what's helpful for us, is start a list of all the things that you like to do. And as you're writing them down, you remember the things that you like, and you start to remember why you like them. And then you really start like asking yourself, why don't I do these things? If I like these things, why don't I do them? And then, you know, you start either making excuses, or you realize it doesn't matter what the excuse is. Like you need to like force yourself to do the things that you like. And if you don't do and if you come back to your goal list and you're like, well, I used to like this stuff, I don't do it anymore, then ask yourself, do I have to do something? Maybe I don't like it anymore, and find something new to do. And if you don't know, then start exploring. Prepare yourself for setbacks. Part of the process, when we have setbacks, it might come off as like it's, oh, I've failed, or I didn't do this right. No, it's an opportunity for improvement. It's an opportunity. Maybe that thing needs more attention. Like, for instance, when I think that I have healed from this childhood issue, an insecurity of mine, and it comes up, you know, maybe every other year or so, and it's like, oh my God, like I thought I was done with this. No, because we are ever evolving, and there are layers and layers and layers of healing. And so when you think that you deal with something and it comes back, it's the universe's way of saying, you're ready to heal. You are ready for that next level of healing. So part of the process needs more attention, or it needs realignment or redirection. Embrace yourself as you are. We talked about that. Own your shit. Challenge your negative thoughts. Really ask if these are yours. It's like, because there are super empaths out there. I am a super empath. I have realized that I really, really, really need to cleanse my aura more than once a week, and almost like twice a day, like in the morning and before bed. So at night, I do it when I take a shower, and I just like, whatever is not mine, like I'm going to wash it away. And then when I get up, I take my first breath. And this I'm getting into, so I'm trying to do this more and more. Like when I take that first breath, I'm like, this is my breath, and I'm going to own my day, and I'm not going to take on anybody else's shit. Surround yourself with encouraging people. Find a tribe of like-minded people. And that isn't easy. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes yourself getting out of your comfort zone in order to like find those like-minded people. And there is when we can listen to other people's stories about overcoming insecurities. So, you know, join a support group. Just explore and find things to do. The group might not be tailored to what you're hoping to gain, but you might gain more. Try new things, explore, find out what you don't like. That's the wonderful part with exploring different things. Even though you found out that you didn't, I don't like this. Okay, now you found out that you don't like crocheting. So now you can check that off your list and move on to the next exploration. Let go of people and situations that fuel your insecurities. This is kind of hard, and I talked a lot about this in the last video with like being triggered for Christmas. That's where you can set and practice boundaries. You know, who gets your energy? Who gets your time? Stop being that people pleaser, you know. Really ask yourself, is this person putting value in my life? And I want to allow myself to share my value with them? Stop comparing yourself. No one lives your life. and no one gets to. Comparing yourself is one of the core reasons many people have a negative self-image. You may see friends achieve financial goals, find supportive partners, or get professional recognition before you do and feel you're falling behind. Remember, everyone works at their own pace and is on a unique path to success. Celebrate your wins without measuring whether they're big or small than those of your friends. So that was a quick rundown. Let's do the cord cutting. And I have a track. I'm probably going to get licensed Nazi'd, but I don't care. So I'm not going to have it too loud. And hopefully there won't be any commercials. That's why I'm going to have it a little lower. Just so that... Okay. So, find a comfy place. We're just going to start out with some breathing. This is all basically some visualization. Okay, find that energy again. All right. Take a deep breath. Hold it. And let it out. When you let it out, I really want you to focus on just relaxing your body and focus on relaxing it more and more with each breath. Hold it. Did you feel the difference? One more breath. Really let it go. So I want you to think of something that you feel you are lacking, or something that makes you feel insecure. And what I mean by insecure is something that's triggering, brings up negative memories or emotions or sensations in your body where you feel unsafe, unloved, unwanted, unheard, unseen, and not in control. Think of something that really doesn't serve you right now. And if you can, maybe you want to do this later, but if you can, try to stimulate your body to feel that right now. And imagine that whatever that is, the way that it looks is a cord. It can be of rope. It can be of tightly entwined wire. It can, picture an umbilical cord, if it's something that you know is from your childhood, or from, if it's hereditary, or viney, or threads. Something that represents a tether. And now try to picture what color it is. is your sacral. Yellow is your solar plexus. Green is your heart. Blue is your throat. And purple and white is your third eye and crown. So imagine that cord is infusing that insecurity and that lack mindset. And we need to cut it. We're going to cut that cord. And we're going to cut it with the light and love of God and the universe. So picture something that represents something that can cut through that. If you know your spirit animal, or you have guides, I know there's dragons, something that's sharp, and once you have that in your vision, I want you to stand there and hold whatever cutting, burning device, and I want you to take back your power. And whatever this is, it's no longer going to be attached to you. It's no longer going to be negative or unhealthy or unhelpful. And it's going to represent love, abundance, positive, healthy, reassuring. It's going to be the opposite of insecure. It's going to make you feel safe, secure, seen, heard, loved, valued. See how as I said that, I sat up straighter. So take your cutting device and cut that cord. Because that negative energy, whatever that attachment is, that's negative, it's not good. It no longer serves us. And we're going to replace it with God, with the love and light of God and the universe, and whatever word you like to use, whatever source. And then that white light is going to dissolve that cord. And just let that white light burn away that rest of the cord. Take a moment and just focus on how your body feels now. Now you might be experiencing a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of anxiousness. That's totally normal. And you might feel some residual. So just whatever you use for grounding, just practice that, whether it's taking a bath, taking a shower, going outside, getting a drink of water. whatever that is that has been filling your heart and your head full of doubt and fear and uncertainty, it does not need to be there. And command it. Command God's love and light to take its place. Let's take another couple deep breaths. My hands were on fire. How's everybody feeling? I'm going to read some mantras, and if you just want to close your eyes, I'll read them to you, and you guys can say them back in your head, or you can say them out loud. I release the fear that I am not enough. I am already whole. I trust that everything I need is already on its way. Bless you, Lola. I am open to receiving abundance in all forms, seen and unseen. I am worthy of love, success, and joy just as I am. I no longer chase. I attract what is meant for me. Every day, I am becoming more aligned with my higher self. The universe always provides for me in unexpected ways. As an assignment, I want you guys to write this down, and just, you can either think about it or add it to your journaling exercises. What is one small action I can take today to affirm my worth and my ability to receive? Almost done. Okay, we're going to pull our last card from the deck that I created called Words to Live By. It is for sale. I am doing a reading and selling the card deck for a bundle for $50. So I want to be a clear conduit as we close this reading. Please comment on here, free reading, in the comments, and your name will go into the drawing at the end of January. And I'll probably keep it open till the first week of February, just because I know that, you know, people get busy. All right, here we go. Gifts. I like this card. It's so subtle and soft, and it reminds me of the advice that I have been given about when I'm in my head, when I'm in lack, when I'm in that lack mindset, is to get in touch with that wounded inner child. If that's where I feel like the insecurity is coming from a child, an inner child wound that hasn't been healed. And I just want to like cradle her and tell her that we are safe. We don't live, our physical body is not in that timeline anymore. And we don't have to carry that with us. Like, we are safe here. We are strong. And then gifts, I use my intuition, or I try to find something each day that brings me joy. If I'm in that mindset of lack and it's creating a spiral effect of anxiety, I either go and I take a bath and I kind of wash it all away, or I'll go outside for a walk and I'll play with my dog, or I get in my craft room and I'll like start to create, because that's where I feel like I'm in the best kind of healing flow. So I'm going to read this as we close tonight's reading. We are given life, a life to live at our full aligned potential in every thought we think, every emotion we feel, every word we speak, every action we carry out. We are given a body, a physical makeup of blood, organs, bones, and electrical signals that need to be fed, nurtured, and maintained optimally to perform as the strong, powerful machines born into this world to be. We are given a conscious, a magical roadmap to make choices on our journeys to keep us safe and on the right path. Our gut instinct allows us to pause in the moment and make decisions that serve our highest good. We are given love. It's our divine purpose in the world, to love and be loved. The word love and its universal message is everywhere as an influential direction. Consider this instruction, and it will empower your life. We are given the sun, the moon, the stars, the planets, and animals that share this domain. Hello, Kathy. We are given the day and the night. Allow yourself to step into nature and open yourself up to its song, its story, its canvas, quieting the mind, relaxing the body, soothing your emotions. All practiced while in nature is the truest and by far the most effective therapy. No appointment needed. These gifts are free and available on demand. When you're feeling lost, sad, uneasy, disappointed, confused, or in doubt, remember these gifts given to us, each and every one of us. Take a breath, be in the moment, find your center, lead with love. You got this. I can't think of a more appropriate card for the topic that we discussed tonight. And I'm getting goosebumps. Just remembering that I wrote this. I'm always blown away. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. Let someone know if you know someone that really needs to hear these words tonight. Tell them to look me up. I know it's not shareable, but they can, if they're friends, if they're already on here, tell them to look it up. Tell them to friend me, and I can add them to the group. Remember to comment in the comments, free reading, so that your name gets in the drawing for a free reading, and the deck is for sale for $25. Thank you all. I will see you in the next live. Have a good night.